Man, I come in.
All right, let me open up some Twitch so I can see these
Yeah, I'll
assholes.
join that too. I gotta get my Twiznitch on here.
So I can see these dumb motherfuckers. Let me know when we're on.
Let's see who's in the chat room early. It's been pretty live, man. Even for SmackDown Live Self Help Group, Impact Attack did well this morning with Joe, Jan, and I. So we'll see. Oh, we got a commercial. It sounds like that might be
Yeah,
you.
it's Geico
Yeah,
commercial, man.
yeah, we're up there looking stellar as ever here at twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen. It's me and Big Sal and the Sith microphone turned sideways, stick it straight up your
So you can
candy
hear me
ass, you infidels. Because from the first to the last of it, delivery's passionate, the whole, not the half of it, vocab, not the math of it, projectile, them blasting it, accurate assassin shit. Me and Big Sal close like Bethlehem and Nazareth, infidels. And that's how we slay them out here today when we kick the show off live, just a two-man booth. GGP probably doing the run-in, probably shaking down some goddamn promoter for an extra payday and his title strap so he can come and work a program in your town real soon. But right now, it's the Conspiracy Horsemen, myths and strange shit from around the world, and a third moon. You never know what moon you might see tonight. Big Sal and Hacker Hamin. Yalla! Yeah, man. First in the chat that I see is Triple D, our boy from Dippin' Donuts. Excited to talk about our deal here in just a little bit, man. But pumped to see you, man. It's always a crazy, crazy production day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So when I can hear the voice of Big Sal, it always soothes my soul just a little bit, man. So Sally Balls, how you doing, bro?
Good, man. Good shout out for Bethlehem and Allentown, is right? Fuck yeah. So you got all the snow apparently.
Not anymore. It's just about gone, man. It got real warm and it rained today.
At work, I've been doing training, so I've been doing Joe Job hump training, where we're stuck in a room for 8 hours, and all they talked about, they showed pictures of the ice houses in Buffalo, and all the ice houses, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's snow, guys. What the fuck? We're all from Pennsylvania. We've all seen snow before, and, so yeah, we didn't get any. We got none.
Well,
we got dick out.
I worked this weekend up in Canada, and it's always like, dude, I got booked in the Northeast in February. That's always a crap shoot, right? Usually that's pretty slow for us Northeast guys. But thanks to global warming, now guys are booking shows. So we were supposed to get, they said, anywhere between 2 to 4 feet of snow, which they did get blasted, which up on the hill in 46 where a lot of people snowmobile. That was like a small, very fine area that got drilled like that. Dude, we got maybe 2 to 4 inches down here, if that. And me and Sideburns took off for fucking Fort Erie, Canada. It was easy driving through Buffalo, all that shit, man.
I hear so 3D in the chat room. If I could send the snow, Sal, I'd make sure to send it your way. I heard you were bitching the entire time.
Yeah, he told me that yesterday when I went through the drive-thru to get my.
I heard you were bitching about it. So yeah, we're looking forward to this now, and also this is an event. This is return of the 6G Pod Juice.
Oh,
haven't had it in a while.
Oh shit!
I haven't had it in a while, and just had the restock. So we're back. We're back with some Pod Juice, and again, looking over all the stuff, the stuff in our chat that we send back and forth, and then trying to catch up on all this. Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
There's a lot of cool things. GGP, and I'm not sure where he is right now. I'm just looking at our chat, so he's seeing the link. So whatever he's got to do, feed the kids and do homeworks and tell everybody to shut up and get set up. I'm sure hopefully he'll be here. But,
we around smacks.
Yeah. Are you talking about so GGP sent a video link of like 12 mysterious objects. And, dude, there's really no answer to him. Here he comes right here.
But just to start off,
yeah,
this weekend I happened to watch the Voynich Manuscript, just kind of a rando.
Happened, huh?
And then you sent the video. I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. Because
yeah, and that was actually a shout out. I'm not sure if it was from Cadillac GQ or somebody back in the Twitterverse. Good brother, put it in. But yeah, dude, that I was like, yeah, I definitely want to check it out because we had kind of brushed across it, but I really watched that whole 20 hour and 20 video, and it was that was so crazy research, man. They went from clergy to royalty to like the underground scientists getting it. It was nuts.
And it just how it came up, and we said we talk about it in depth later on in another show, right, or whatever. But like, I know it's just the random of it. How I watched and I was like, oh yeah, and I saved it, and then you popped it in, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I love how that dude, that group mind, I think we're just so in tune. I mean, you've talked about it when you say with your authors and you think they're tapped into something. There's no reason as improvisers and podcasters we can't be thinking of that same thing, where we all didn't know shit about the James Brown thing. And could that be Mandela effect? But it's not Mandela effect. It's the Greek effect you're feeling right now, because it's oh so sexy. Mr. Four Belts himself, tag team champion and triple heavyweight champion. Can't be out wrestled, can't be out promoted. It's my tag team partner, the Greek god, Papa Don. Ya Allah, brother.
Opa!
What's up, handsome?
Hey, man.
What's up, everybody? How's everyone feeling today?
Good, man. Good business. Doing good biz out here, man. I'm excited to talk about it here in just a second, but I didn't want to jump on early with plugs. 1,000 bits from Triple D in there.
Yasu Vremanga!
Yeah.
Yasu Dimitri!
Yeah, Armand, Cabinet Maker, Big Evil Pops, Abe Pash, Lone Nutcase, Dude Bud, all the super loyalists are here, man, tonight. Unfortunately, Stevie won't be joining us. He's got a big thing going on with his gym, and he's got the Force Flex people, and what he's got to do. He's sending us pictures of his new setup. Looks pretty crazy, but he had a lot of heavy metal to move, so that's what he's doing great on. And all you guys who have used that code Stevie5 or doing the home gym thing, Stevie's doing well in strategizing and trying to make that affiliate and influencer living. And you guys who have bought, that's awesome. And if you're looking for it, man, definitely get a hold of Stevie for the Force Flex stuff. So unfortunately he won't be. Maybe he'll run in, but
Can we close the show with "It's Hard to Say Goodbye" by Boyz II Men?
You got it. Let me write that down right now. Oh, it's hard to say goodbye.
Yeah, man.
It's so hard.
You guys just want to sing it?
We'll do some harmony.
Say goodbye to yesterday. Take it. There it was. And I'll take. He comes in on that. And I'll take. There you say goodbye. All right. I won't see T out on that, boys.
How are you, Sal?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right, brother. I'm all right. Sorry for the late run-in, but, traffic. New York traffic.
Yeah, man.
Oh, fuck. I'm with it.
Well, we're glad you're here, bud. It was an awesome video you sent us on, these 12 strange things. A couple stuck out a lot more than others did to me.
I kind of fell down a rabbit hole today. But,
did you? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, besides doing the Voynich Manuscript research and my mind being blown with that, and then I looked into the into this disco Calant thing.
Yeah.
And couldn't find anything on that, but I did find some stuff on the forged rock that was found in Indonesia.
Yeah, the Kupang
cool.
stone. I got these up, so we'll go through them, and there's the Greek ones.
And then I fell down two other things that you didn't mention. One was the Emerald Tablet of Hermes.
Yeah, I didn't get to that. That was fucking crazy too. So
and then another thing that blew my mind was the this was found off of the islands of Greece. Coincidental, it had to just be Greek, but whatever. That just coincidence. The Antikythera device.
Yeah.
Wait till I get down to that. You're gonna pop.
Is that the computer?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
So.
Yeah, of course, that's fucking. And I'll take.
Yeah, I was going through the 12, and all I kept thinking about was like, let's compare this to now, where 7 million years from now, or whatever the fuck it'll be, 1,000 years, somebody's gonna look at somebody's like push pin off of their corkboard in college and be like, what the fuck was this? this must mean something because it's not made of any polymer we know.
Yeah,
and
right.
then it's gonna mean dick, and they're gonna fucking spend millions of dollars trying to figure out what the fuck it means. And they're like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna find a comic book of Spider-Man, and they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh my
Spider-Man.
god.
Let's be fair.
the
Spider-Man will
fuck?
still be around with 6 fucking titles.
Yeah, fuck him, dude. You can't beat me.
Ben will be in all of
You
them.
can't beat me. There, you guys got the close up of the beard as I try and bring up the Emerald Tablet of Thoth. Yeah, man. And the other thing was this. Hey, did you know we've had a new moon following us for the last 3 years? I'm not sure if you guys heard that.
Hate to break
not.
it to you, that's no moon.
That's no moon. I got Hacker Hamin right over your face here. Hold on one
That
second.
old Jamaican moon. I don't know why that old Jamaican's mooning us.
Like, dude, what is going on with Planet X, Sal? I know you did some Anunnaki stuff, and you're all kind of turned around, and you know, I don't.
Life changer. Hashtag life changer.
I'm not trying to do an "I told you so" or something on you. I'm just saying, man. I'm interested to
Let's
hear.
just say you didn't tell me so. You hopped on the Nibiru thing.
Oh, okay.
No, as I was listening to shit, the more I was just like, wow. I was doing the wow, and then the fuck. because it comes down to the whole. Well, Vin he did kind of say stuff, but all right. He could have made.
It wasn't as bad as the wow fuck of the Mandela effect in the Walmart. That was probably the worst one.
No, man. The screaming and yelling during a lunch hour. No, it wasn't as bad as that. But yeah, it was kind of one of those. Fuck, wow. And it's one of those that, like, it's the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The more you find out, the more you're just like, Jesus Christ. And it just got worse and worse. And when I say worse and worse, I mean better and better, because it made everything else made sense. So that's something we could talk about 5 minutes or 5 hours, because it's all there.
Let's see.
All right, so what do you want to start with? Let's put these in order. You want to start with the
I'd like to talk about
Voynich
that new moon gimmick, but I lost the link. I had it out, and then my computer restarted yesterday. So
way to be a professional.
I got like 19 other links open. But to talk about professional, before I'm going to do the plug early, because I definitely need to get these in, because I keep forgetting to do them during shows, and they just reached out. So here we go, you guys. I'm going to do a quick round of plugs in the show as we drop here. You know, there's a lot going on with Hamin Media Group, and I'm super pumped for everybody to be reaching out, doing their thing. NFO podcast, 1 year anniversary. Congratulations. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
I actually just reached out to Jeff Wolf, the guy who I keep sending you all those Star Wars full-sized, gimmicks of the droids. He's the he's the 3D designer who's putting those out through his Patreon. So that might be cool to get him on there. And
absolutely, dude.
how long away until you're actually packing those things with gears and shit, and they're moving? Some of them are pretty crazy. He even has an Iron Man one where you can do the finger touch,
Reticulated, like the Thanos glove.
and in like the visor will open. You just have to the fire, the heart will fire up and shit. Yeah, like if you're a little kid, you're like, what the fuck, bro? All that shit.
Little kid, we're all fucking popping for it.
But yeah.
So when we were young, we had Secret Wars with a holographic shield, and we thought it was.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, man. So I mean, they're just doing awesome things, and as you can hear, well, not now. It just finished. Raphael's hands with the size just finished on I got the CR10S back up, and hopefully we'll have the TiVo Tornado back up soon. But here and there, I want to take this time to thank podcorn.com, because it's very cool. It's made it a lot easier for Hamin Media Group and Russo Brand to get sponsors. And if you're a podcaster listening, like I know we have a lot of producers who are out doing their own thing. And even if you guys at NFO want to sign up for it, because I know you have a separate stream from Hamin Media Group to do your own thing, you can just go there and plug in, and then you can start pitching to all these brands. Usually there's about 70 brands every 2 weeks that you can pitch to, GGP. So, everybody across, it doesn't matter what it is. Most people are going to be Star Wars marks. That's one thing, like wrestling, that brings people together in the world. So I suggest if you're a podcaster and you're looking for sponsorship, people are like, how can I get more audience or crossover? There's different ones that you might make a little money. Other ones might just give you more exposure and do good business, or you'll find somebody in your niche market through podcorn.com that wants to have a conversation, whether it's about business or health or usually gender, or, you know, there's a lot of ones that are more tailored for, I'd say, female stuff, you know, whether it's a clothing store or things like that, you know, we're not going to really shop Dress Barn here. Not to say that, Sal, you wouldn't look beautiful in some.
I would look fucking amazing.
Yeah,
in a fucking
right. But it's just maybe not on brand for us, but it might be more on brand for what you guys are doing. But if you're a podcaster and you're looking to hook up with brands who you kick them a proposal, start working on your magic email like Stevie. Dude, this is how Stevie gets all this. All these mics you see and shit, it's because Stevie writes a great email and does a great review. And that's what they're looking for, is to tap into your niche market. So podcorn.com. Why mess around and go having a look? I mean, use everything that's available to you, and that's an easy one. And outside of that, like I said, we had Triple D in the chat room tonight, a great friend of the show, sponsor of Immortal Championship Wrestling, and, you know, the new 24/7 titles, which I'd love to see Sal, you know, hold high. I don't think anybody could take that off us, as GGP and I come to SUNY IT on the 18th College Invasion Panty Raid time. Excited about it. And, you know, with the Dip and Donuts title, I'd like to see Dimitri win it and you kill Dimitri once again to take it off of him. I think that'd be excellent.
Fair.
This is for eating, motherfucker.
Yeah, right, for not opening down in Pennsylvania yet. So, you know, the other thing that we've got going is he's going to have, and he has in his store, is BROASTERS coffee at all his Dippin' Donuts locations. And I've met with the owner of BROASTERS, and, you know, we're excited because obviously it got the Russo crossover and, you know, the Bro is branded. So we're bringing to you guys limited edition Vince Russo Bro coffee. You can go to their website, thebroasters.com right now. Order it, $14.50 for 12 ounces. Nicaraguan blend. That's right, I said Nicaraguan. You know, it's unbelievable. I was on that Jamaican. I've actually switched off of it because this is so good. Russo's going crazy for it, not just to try and sell and put it over. He was trying to work me today to get him to send him more because he's already burned through it. He loves it so much, man. So if you want a very cool limited edition thing brought to you by Hamin Media Group, thebroasters.com, Dippin' Donuts, and
I think
Russo
we should all
brand.
taste it.
It's excellent. Well, I'm gonna get you guys some. You know, I'm gonna hook it up. I always got the jerky.
I think we should all get to try it out, just so we knew what we would have had if somebody opened a store in Easton.
Well, you know, I always got the tabletop. I downloaded some new tabletop gaming guys for you, and you never know. I'll put together a little care package and send you something out, dude. Because you can trust you can trust on me. Other guys, I don't know if they're gonna come through with shit. You know what I mean?
Like, yes, especially Dippin' Donuts.
Actually, I will. Let me tell you a little Dippin' Donuts, and this is behind the scenes that I'll stooge off because, you know, I'm managing local as well as trying to expand the BROASTERS stuff in conjunction with all that, and it's just awesome because a lot, GGP, you know this, working in business and whatnot too. A lot of times people have these deals, but 70% of them die on the table because of one reason or another. It's not because sometimes people are fuckface or an embezzler or whatever it is, but, you know, to get something to market is almost like a 30% chance. So to have all these parties on board is just kind of, you know, win all the way around, especially for the diehards who are buying it already. So it's kick ass, man. I can't say enough about it. I'm super excited for you guys to try it because I know once you do, you'll want it again. So, and ZordosOliveOil.com. Obviously, that's why GGP's head looks so shiny tonight. He's been working it in his scalp.
No, you know, it's just the lights hitting me the right way.
Did you get one of those ring lights, like the soft lighting?
No, it's the lights. The what do you call it? The hi-hat up on the roof.
Okay, looks good. You look good, man. So that's everything we got going on right now. Podcorn and you know, the BROASTERS.com, and go to if you can't buy right now or you're not a podcaster, coolest thing you can do is go to @CoffeeBroasters and give them a follow as I try and help build their following too. That's simple. One click, do it, or else I'll slap the shit out of you.
Do it.
Yeah, well, man, this third moon gimmick. Let me see. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Snow Moon.
What is it?
It's a battle station.
You think so? You think this space, this?
No, dude, it's just a line from Star Wars, dude.
I know, but why not, dude? Why not? Why not let it be? Why not let it be that?
I think it's well, I could see it being just a meteor that's hanging, that got caught in some kind of magnetic field and it's stuck there for now, or it could be an alien ship that's surveying the atmosphere.
See, here I'm going back to even Earth has 2 extra hidden moons. This is from National Geographic. This is from National Geographic 2018, supposedly, unless they've scrubbed the net and they planted this story. So this is like I looked up third moon Earth, and third link down is Earth has 2 extra hidden moons. If you want to, please continue to sign up. Fuck you. Of course they want you to sign up and bullshit. Should just enter the Chunks at Farts email address. That's one of my favorites. Let's see if it works, just to see if we can fucking do it.
So here's the thing too, and again, this goes back into the stuff I've been reading about this, about Tiamat, and that used to be another planet, and Nibiru's moon's slamming into Tiamat, pretty much destroying it. So again, this moon that's following the Earth could be something that's been in orbit with Nibiru.
Chunks at farts.com worked as well. My buddy, like, farts.com's been up and you could get an email. We've had that since college, bro. Chunks at farts is what we had. Anyways,
Tremendous.
There's got to be so many signups. Feel free to use it. Chunks at farts.com. Sorry.
No, that's great. But yeah, so again, this extra moon following us could be literally anything. And here's my question now. So again, why not just send a satellite? Go look, see what it is. You got people out there, you got stuff going on. What is it?
I found the article.
Okay.
Earth has a temporary new, in quotations, mini moon in its orbit. It's posted by Ashley Strickland on CNN, Wednesday, the 26th of February, 2020.
Made him jump like Rod Strickland.
That's right.
Sick name, made him jump like Rod Strickland.
Oh, by the way, Ben, you got to check out on Netflix Hip Hop Evolution.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's great, dude. It's excellent. Did you like that Wu-Tang? Even as that Reunited the album, like, that guy's just got all like deep Wu-Tang cuts where he names it after things, but it's not like Reunited double LP. It's all deep cuts that I posted last week. Did you listen to that?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
It's the one with it's the one with the red W on it, and dude, there's some fucking killer B-sides. I hadn't heard on there. I was like, wow, you get one by me. That's fucking good. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, it's not the moon, but you can call it mini moon. Earth has captured a tiny object and pulled it into orbit. The asteroid known as 2020 CD3 is only this. It would have been better if they named it AB3, but that's
that would have been tremendous.
That would have been.
Is only the second asteroid known to orbit the Earth, and while it won't last, this asteroid acts as a temporary mini moon whirling around our planet. The discovery was made by Kakper Wieschos and Theodore Pruin, research specialists for the Catalina Sky Survey. It's a NASA-funded project at the University of Arizona's Lunar and Planetary Laboratory in Tucson, Arizona. The survey is supported by the Near Earth Objects Observations Program, which reports into NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office. Specialists at Catalina helped NASA discover the track near-Earth objects that could be potentially hazardous to the planet. In this case, they found a natural satellite that was pulled into the Earth's orbit 3 years ago, and we're hearing about it now.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory Minor Planet Center announced the object. The MPC is the single worldwide location for receipt and distribution of positional measurements of minor planets, comets, and outer irregular natural satellites of the major planets. Orbit integrations indicate that this object is temporarily bound to the Earth, according to the announcement on its site. No link to a known.
Why temporarily? It seems if it would come in, you want once you're in, unless something else pulls you back out that's got a stronger field of pull, right? Like that's a weird wording to me that sticks out.
No link to a known artificial object has been found. Further observations and dynamical studies are strongly encouraged. The asteroid is likely between 6.2 feet and 11.4 feet in diameter. That's it? The researchers said on Twitter.
What? 6.2 feet? That's no moon, dude. That's just a fucking
piece of rock.
Yeah.
The first known asteroid to orbit Earth, asteroid 2006 RH120. RH. Why RH? Like the blood, right?
Yeah.
Interesting, right? That was that the RH blood?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Was discovered using the Catalina Sky Survey in September 2006. It's known as TCO, Temporarily Captured Object, to astronomers. The story of the 2006 RH120 is not without controversy, however, as its orbit appears similar to some Apollo-era spent rockets boosters, and therefore some scientists believe it may be an artificial object, according to the survey's website. With increasing capabilities of surveys, it's likely that the more temporarily captured objects will be discovered in the coming years, allowing for improved definition and characterization of this strange class of near-Earth objects.
That's crazy. I'm not impressed by what I thought would have been the size of the moon when they said it, but as it said, it came in to our orbit and now until something else kind of pulls it out. Is it kind of a yo-yo for Planet X, where it's these things that are looping around Planet X out of our vision, out of our hemisphere, Sal? Anything, the winged planet, the asteroid field, the moons that's there, its own sun. What do you think, man?
Well, that's the problem. I think it's how did this, apparently it's been around for 3 years, and she probably had to sit on the story, much like the chick on ABC did.
Yeah.
It's not a real story. It's an extra moon. So
we had this extra moon 4 years ago. They wouldn't let me go with it. The men wouldn't let me do it.
The men wouldn't let me talk, so I've sat on this for three long years, and now I can tell the truth of my moon. Damn. How did that's my thing? How aren't people watching this shit? Like, why? Again, this is just a simple point of why did no one else? Why isn't this news? Why isn't this a big deal? It just seems like it's up in space, so nobody gives a fuck
it's
anymore.
Just
We're
one
way too worried about.
It's one
bullshit.
deked by the goalie, right? It's just like, oh, it was already in there. That's in the banks, dude. We put it in there.
Because, Shug, it's not main event material. It's not over, Shug. That's why.
It's not over material. It's not an over move.
I'm reading Andrew Fazekas, Fazekas. Earth has 2 extra hidden moons. This is from the National Enquirer article. First spied in the 1960s, the huge dust clouds have now been confirmed and may affect plans for future space exploration. Earth's moons may not be alone. Over more than half a century of speculation and controversy, Hungarian astronomers and physicists say they finally confirmed the existence of 2 Earth-orbiting moons entirely made of dust. You better send somebody up there to sniff them. They described in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, the team managed to capture snapshots of the mysterious clouds lurking just 250,000 miles away, roughly the same distance as the moon.
Well, I thought the moon was in lower Earth orbit now.
Yeah. Researchers previously inferred the presence of multiple natural companions to the Earth, but the dust clouds weren't actually seen until 1961 when their namesake Polish astronomer Kazimierz Kordylewski got a glimpse after he screwed in some light bulbs. He could finally see them. But no, I'm kidding. Even then, their presence were questioned. The Kordylewski clouds are two of the toughest objects to find, and they are as close to Earth as the moon, are largely overlooked by researchers in astronomy, says the study co-author Judith Slice-Baloj, an astronomer at Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary. It's intriguing.
We used to get drunk there on the weekends.
Jesus, that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
You and Super Crazy, right?
He was a mouthful.
Yeah, she was nuts, that broad.
He was a mouthful.
He used to go, Sal, you super crazy, man.
You're super crazy.
Are you hungry? I'm hungry. It's intriguing to confirm that our planet has dusty pseudo-satellites in its orbit alongside our lunar neighbor, quote. According to the new finding, each Kordylewski cloud is about 15 by 10 degrees wide, or equal to 30 by 20 lunar disks in the night sky. What the fuck measurement? I don't know. This translates to an area in space about 65,000 by 45,000 miles in actual size, nearly 9 times wider than Earth. So what's in the clouds? Send in the clouds. Let's see.
So it's space dust. That's all it is. And they're calling it a moon.
Space dust.
The clouds themselves are enormous, but the individual particles that comprise them are estimated to measure just a micrometer across. The sun reflects off these particles, making them glow ever so slightly, just like the pyramid-shaped glow of the zodiacal light that results from dust scattered between the orbit of the planets. These satellite clouds, however, remained hidden in the darkness of space until now simply because they're super faint. It's very difficult to detect the Kordylewski clouds against the galactic light, starlight, zodiac light, and sky glow, says co-author Gabor Horvath, a physicist at the same place, Eötvös Loránd University. Now you need a Horvath. Now using special polarized filters on their camera, the researchers have managed to reveal the scattered light reflecting off the individual particles within the clouds. The Kordylewski points L4 and 5 in hopes of finding solid body moods in the 1950s. Instead, he ended up revealing our first hints of dust clouds orbiting the Earth. So found something. He had some idea, but what they're calling his moons, I don't know, man.
Can I tell you what this is, man? Can I my opinion real quick?
Go ahead.
This is nerd clickbait material.
Mm-hmm.
This is them going, well, they're gonna click on the article, and we're gonna get hits, and we're gonna finally get lights, and we're gonna be cool. We're gonna get the extra pocket protector with the extra pens, and we're gonna get the trapper keeper with a jet on it. That's gonna be cool, man. Mom, the meatloaf, quiet.
I can't wait to pull Horvath off you at the next fight. When he sees you at the fucking airport.
Listen, I'll tell him to go back to Whore Island to go visit his mother. I'm relaxed.
To pull him off you.
So
now here's my thing, man. Anybody else think they should just send Hack and a Tesla up there?
Yes, I was just thinking that when he said space dust, I was gonna go
lift the fucking visor, just snort it all.
I'm in space. Yeah.
Good crossover there. As I got asked today by PJ to MC, sucker MCs, better beware, on the June 13th in Binghamton, the armpit of New York State, and the 14th in Rochester. I'll be MCing and opening for Just Incredible, the Sandman, and Shane Douglas on their Hardcore Stories tour.
Tremendous.
That means your ass is gonna be carrying them up.
Yeah. Everyone today was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I go, "Yeah, wait till 2 out of 3 of them show up fucking shit-faced." Then I got to pull. I go from pulling 5 minutes to 45 minutes and trying to lead them down the fucking path on a live podcast while they don't fucking puke.
Dude, you need to Periscope the entire event.
Holy shit. If it goes bad to worse, I'm just going to fucking fire it up. What do I got to lose, right?
Yeah, right.
Holy shit. So keep an eye out for that. But tickets are on sale now at Excite Wrestling's website, excite.com with the X and CITE. And then Carlson Comedy Club, which is a pretty prestigious club, man. Rappaport's in there right after us. Jay Moore is right in there before us, so it'll be.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's that's going to be a bigger venue. That's going to be.
I was going to say, talk up Rappaport. He'd probably put that shit over.
I would love to fucking talk up Rappaport.
Yeah, my man's about.
I'm huge into him too, man. But this
You're
is
trying to make Andy Dick Dallas.
Yeah, well,
Dallas.
Yeah,
did he?
Jealous.
Did he make Andy Dick Dallas?
I think
Andy Dick jealous.
I think I've surpassed Andy Dick at this point. He's looking for the rub from me. Well,
he was looking for the rub back then too.
What are you gonna do? That's what he was. He got it too. He got the rub. Not from me though that night.
Right.
But one thing that I figured you were gonna be pretty pumped about, man, in that video right out of the gate was the Arcalori axe from Crete in 1934. I thought that was pretty badass. You know, my old man being lumberjack and the whole nine. That was interesting to me to see an axe that was so specifically made, and I'm going to bring it up here in just a second.
It had the really wide blades.
Yeah.
Double-sided, like a lumberjack's axe.
Yes.
And I know the video wasn't being specific, and it was kind of one of those, we're just going to ask questions and leave them here sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like the stuff they showed were very specific hatchets and war axes and stuff like that. Tomahawks mostly, like that style of blade. This was a very specific blade. And again, my thought being, we're not sure what it was for. Was it a ceremonial axe? But just like when we talked to Alberino and they found 12-foot swords.
Yeah.
And
we're on the feistosdisc.webnode.com. Pretty cool little site though that somebody spent some time on here. Go ahead, Sal. I'll come back.
No, I was just saying, like, you find these things, and at that point, because they, the date that they were saying that they found them, and how old they are, it would have took a lot of man hours.
Yeah. To
do something like that, especially something nobody's been able to translate since. And for a reason of decoration or a reason of like a ritual or something, still you're talking days, if not weeks, months maybe of crafting.
Yeah.
For what reason? In a time when you need to survive and do shit like this.
And
reason?
For those who can't see, you can look up the Arcalori axe and zoom in. But there's some part that is very visible to the eye of these hieroglyphs carved into it. But it's really across the whole blade, and they've done obviously all the scientific testing to get those relief patterns off here. But the bronze Arcalori axe is a 2nd millennium BC Minoan votive double axe excavated by Spyridon. Help me with this one. Spyridon. Spyridon Maranatos. In 1934 in the Arcalori cave on Crete, which is believed to be part of a religious ritual. It's inscribed with 15 symbols. It's been suggested that these might be a linear A writing system, although some scholars disagree. The axe, also known as also the Phaistos disc, are conserved in the Irukhan Archaeological Museum. But the Phaistos disc was another thing that was supposed to be like
they still don't know what the hell it is.
They thought it might be a cipher decoder, right? Possibly one thing for it and whatnot. And here I'm going to scroll down these symbols. It says, we believe the Arcalori axe is an inscription with the same syllabic script used on the Phaistos disc. The differences are only stylistic. The hieroglyphs, in other words, are a bit simplified, sketchy, using thus the Phaistos disc phonetic values. We can read the Arcalori axe text as follows. So this does kind of, dude with a mohawk. These things always pop me. Like they almost look like old slot machines to me when they fucking put these next to each other. It says in the English translation after, who knows, truly vow to the sanctuary, honoring with the sheep because I saved father. That's what a loose translation from these hieroglyphs spell out on here, which you can see at the very bottom if you're looking on Twitch.
Say that again.
It says, truly I vow to the sanctuary, honoring with sheep because I saved the father. So it seems like some sacrificial acts that would be done.
Killed sheep.
Yeah, to with the father that may be specifically for that. Very interesting. I like this one a lot. What do you think, GGP?
I think that's a really bad axe.
Oh boy.
Whoa! Boom! Come on.
Holy fuck.
Everybody's fired. But they don't know because this is way beyond any other artifact that was able to be crafted at that time, almost with laser precision to get these type of inscriptions onto there. No other tools dating from this time match up to this timeline. So it's this is why it sticks out in the timeline. And then the Phaistos disc, which is also a mysterious thing unto itself of what it is, relates to this artifact directly, but not found together by any means or even in the same time period. Go ahead, Sal.
Let's make this a triple threat. Okay. In 1902, another object was found off the islands of Greece. It was found by a place called Antikythera, right? Yeah. Now, this Antikythera device was invented by a Greek scientist 1,200 years ago. That's a long time ago, bro. 1,200 years. Now, it's in the Natural Museum of Archaeology in Athens. That's where it's being housed at right now, right? It was so fragile that when they wanted to use it in an X-ray machine, they had to find a certain X-ray machine, and they couldn't move this object. So they brought the X-ray machine from England.
I was with you on that.
They brought Wolverine and Colossus and Nightcrawler
to Moore Island.
To Moore Island, yes, with Banshee and Moira McTaggart. No, they brought the X-ray machine from England all the way to Athens, to the museum. And what they found inside was amazing. They found 37 gears where the teeth count on each gear was a prime number. So they all came to the conclusion that this was the first computer back in the day invented by the Greeks. So yes, we did it again. The forefathers of civilization invented computers. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Bill Gates. But regardless of that, this computer was used to track the Metonic calendar to predict solar eclipses. And it was also used to keep times on sporting events like the ancient Olympic Games. Now, here's the weird thing. The first clock was invented in the 1400s, and it was the size of a small car. This is 1,200 years old. This surpasses the first clock. So the mechanism that is being used in this contraption shouldn't even exist in that time period. So something doesn't add up.
It's a very interesting piece. I've got the Smithsonian magazine up right now showing the device. It almost looks like a disc transmission, something along those lines that would be, you'd find in an old junked out car someplace that's been sitting in a field. But it's incredible, the 1,200 year difference in technology. Is it something from the future that went back in time?
Nope.
No. What do you think, Sal? What
Nope.
What are you doing?
This is where we're gonna talk into the stuff I was talking about earlier. GGP is very impressed that this little hairy Greek monkey invented this 1,200 years ago, and we didn't know. We didn't have clocks before this and before that. Yet, over 4, 5, 6, 7, 10,000 years ago, they were mining for gold. They were mining, and they knew how to extract ore from the earth. Okay, they were digging 2-mile, 3-mile shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that technology come from? How do these fucking shit farmers know how to do this?
They had sporks.
Right. Well, how do these shit farmers know, or why would the shit farmers start digging for gold? Doesn't make good weapons. It's shit armor. It does nothing for survival. Yet they were digging into the earth for it thousands and thousands of years ago, before these people ever thought of making a computer. So I'm sure he made it up and wasn't given the instructions by someone else. But that's fine. He took credit for it. That's okay.
Listen, did you read that in your comic book that you read? Was it the Slaves to the Gods? Your little news strip.
Listen, this is the thing. We all look back and we all say, okay, well, the first writing of man was 3,000 years ago because that's when we found writing from. It's not. That's not what happened. And okay, I can't say that's not what happened. This is the part of, this is what explains. It makes everything else make sense instead of, Magic Desert Wizard and, these guys invented this.
Leave Obi-Wan Kenobi out of this, please.
Yeah, like it just, this computer that they found seems like this was kind of like a, hey, let me show you this. Let me show you how we do it. Can you make your own? Can you replicate this?
Do you think
I
they
can
all
do that.
broke out?
Aliens?
This is how we do it. This is
So
how
anyway,
we do it.
you're speaking
Dig
in
a trench. This
you're
is
speaking
how
very
we do it.
vague in pronouns. So when you're saying, "Let me show you how we do it," who's we? They?
Well, there's
God
eight,
damn it, kid, don't be speaking in pronouns.
there's
God
80
damn it
pronouns now. That's what I'm saying. He's got to be that vague, right?
The people who were the ones who we considered gods. They were the
Okay,
ones.
so the gods showed us how to build computers.
Yeah, more or less.
And these gods you're saying are either Anunnaki or extraterrestrial beings
They were
or
no, the
interdimensional
gods-
beings.
Right. Well, the gods were the creation of the they were the Anunnaki. They were the ones who created us. We were.
What about
Again, we go back into the whole junk DNA thing, and
what about Atlantis technology held over from a cataclysmic event that got found? I've seen that explanation before.
It could be. That could be something from Atlantis because a lot of people don't know where Atlantis is, but the only remnants or the only traces they have to Atlantis is through Plato's writings in the Odyssey and the Homer in the Odyssey?
I was just there in the Bahamas. I went through the walkthrough.
That's the resort, my friend. You were smoking the Irie at the resort.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the original Atlantis, people don't know where it is. Some people claim it's in the Caribbean. Some people say it could be underneath the ice in Antarctica,
or past the ice wall in Antarctica, where outside of the UN map and all that kind of stuff, where that if flat Earth theory, I don't need to mention.
Flat Earth doesn't exist, dude.
Right, but beyond that, when we talk about the Admiral Byrd shit and the Nazi fucking Bell space things, there is, plenty to say that they came out of
space.
Yeah, they came out of nowhere, but maybe it's on the other side. You don't come past this border.
Okay, it could be there, but let's face facts. Back when Plato was writing his deal and people at that time, how'd they get around? Through ships and through walking and through chariots, right? And horse riding or whatever, right? So, in my opinion, Atlantis couldn't have been too far from the Mediterranean because for him to travel that far distance, it would take him a long time. And I'm not talking about a few hours. I'm not talking about a month. Going from Greece all the way to past the ice wall, if there was one, in Antarctica, or going to the Caribbean, by boat at that time, would have took almost a year there, a year back, who knows, even probably longer.
It was about a 6 to 8 week journey.
A 3-hour tour?
Slave ships were 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, but dude, this is before that, dude. This is way before that.
Yeah, that's not going to change too much in ship size. The wind isn't going to be different. Like, you're going to catch it. Like, it might be when you go, might make it in 6, might make it in 10 weeks. Who knows? I don't think the technology of ships changed that much in that time to make a huge difference.
All I'm saying is that Atlantis, in my opinion, is a lot closer to the Mediterranean than people think. Now, could it be something that's still sunk at the bottom of the ocean? Could it be that it was just a place that was starting to sink and people left?
Look at everything off the coast of Greece that you're finding even now, and off the coast of Japan, like ruins that have been underwater for 2,000-3,000 years, big, huge carvings and etchings that just looked like coral reefs, but they're actually part of the landscape and art that was there beforehand, man. Absolutely.
Well, same thing with all these pyramids that we're finding all over the world with that are covered in
jungle and wherever.
Whatever, grass and whatever they decide to disguise it with, And there's a bunch of China too that the government won't allow people to get into.
Yeah, well, nobody's getting into nothing in China right now. So let's move on to the next one here that I thought was pretty cool. Was the Salzburg Cube. This one's pretty damn interesting too. Did
it come with some steak?
Yeah, maybe Salisbury steak cube. So the Salzburg Cube, very alien looking, but it's a strange ancient mass of iron. The Salzburg Cube, also known as the The wolf's egg iron is a small, strange, ancient, massive iron which was found in the 19th century buried in the WCW locker room. No, buried in the tertiary lignite in Wolf's Egg am Harzruck in Austria. Its weight's around 785 grams, measuring about 67 by 67 by 47 millimeters, with 4 of its sides bearing roughly flat, while 2 of its sides opposite each other are convex. So it's very strange. It says it's been worked on by humans' hands, but this was in the ground in a coal deposit that was over 2 or 20 million years old. So
right. And what did they say? They said that the fact that it was worked by human hands and then jammed into the ground as hard as it was.
They said there's no way that it could have been. That there's no way it would have, for them to be able to do it. So is this a 20 million year old piece of iron that was smithed? And it stuck out to me because it really looks like almost like something out of a dragon's egg out of Game of Thrones, right? It's very prop looking, and it's got a split down the center of it, which looks like some crazy heat had to be applied. And it's like almost brain looking, like in 2 hemispheres. A deep groove is carved. I'm back to the copy. A deep groove is carved all around the object, almost midway to its height. It was identified by scientists as a meteoric origin, which was later ruled out by analysts. It seems to be most likely a piece of cast iron, which could have been used as a ballast in mining machinery deposited at the time of the mining, which apparently could have been found within the seam. But this wasn't found within the mining. This was found in the seam, in the coal, not where they were fucking like tooling around for it. Go ahead.
Right. Well, now think about it. If they have mining equipment and they have these things cutting these perfectly square mine shafts and doing these, doing this mining shit that 20 million years.
20 million years ago, you're saying? Like Anunnaki are here?
No,
it's an Anunnaki tool from 20 million years ago?
No, I'm saying the records go up to 250,000 years ago. So, again, the cuneiform tablets, they tell of they found them in Iran.
What do they call? What's his name? The dude with the tablets.
Moses?
No. Christopher Sitch. I always Hitchens and Sitchens.
Is it Zacharias Sitchin?
Zacharias
right,
Sitchin,
who they really shit on a lot of his stuff, because they said he's not really a scholar, he's not really this, but he's the guy who came up with most of the stuff, much like the Greek guy who invented this computer.
Yeah,
found, they gave him a blueprint, they gave him some ideas, and he invented this, sure. And he took credit, he wrote his name on it, he's like, that's mine. And I was like, well, Mr. Poopatopoulos, somebody help you with this. He's like, no, this is all mine.
Yeah, that not a scholar shit's bullshit. Your mom is not a scholar, but you let her wipe your ass, so get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
Hey, I'm looking at this gimmick now, this wolf's egg iron.
Yeah.
It looks like 2 things to me. It looks like, 1, a meteorite that probably landed on Earth, or 2, it looks like a dragon egg, like you said, that it's that like a creature, like an alien living in that thing. Maybe it got fossilized or something. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. So it was found. It was found in a place where they would dig for ore, but it wasn't found like in a bunch of broken rocks and shit. It was found in a vein of charcoal and had to be removed. So if this is a 20 million year old tool that may have survived how many cataclysms, and I think 20 million years, I'm no geologist, but would that be enough time for coal to grow around it? And this is actually something from 20 million years ago when Anunnaki may have been here, and this could be an old drill head or some shit that snapped off in a vein. And
that's what I was going to say. The whole point of this could be nothing. This could literally be a piece of slag. It could be a piece of something that broke off, and we are like fucking crazy, hyped up, caffeinated capuchin monkeys going, we got to figure this out. It could mean nothing. It could mean zero.
From back
exactly. It could be anything. But we have to put some sort of identity to it. Oh, this must be a very important piece. They could be like, dude, that's a piece of fucking iron slag. It's nothing. And we threw that out. That the reason we got rid of it is because it was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
This was on our drill bit. We took it off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But they said there's no doubt.
Identify it as
they
something.
say there's no doubt that human hands or some type of hands crafted this, right? And it's more cast iron. So that doesn't happen naturally. All the things in it occur naturally, but you have to have some type of alchemy to produce this. Now, what is this thing? Look at that groove that goes around it, right? Now, there is counterbalance for mining. I understand that, but the way it's found in the story makes this piece very strange and interesting to me. And just the fact that it looks like a dragon's egg is pretty compelling.
This shit could just be pig iron and nobody knows what the fuck it is, but we have to assume it's something else.
Right. What do you think, GGP?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's like we were saying, it could be a numerous amount of things. It could be something, it could be nothing. The fact that it's so old. I mean, how did they
do you know that?
What was that?
That's an old fucking Will Ferrell bit from Saturday Night Live. This is something. This is nothing.
Oh. I thought okay. Just telling me to take it home or something.
No.
He's trying to give you the Iggy.
He's like, it's an acting teacher thing, and when I hear that, here's weird. You want to talk group mind? That's the third time I've heard this is something, this is nothing this week, and I never hear that to make that joke.
Really?
Yeah, and me and
funny
my
how
buddy,
things work out.
It's
Huh?
crazy. Go ahead.
So, I mean, it could be something. It could be a piece of freaking cattle dung. Who knows? That just got fossilized in a weird shape. We don't know. It's 20 million years old. I mean, who knows?
That's what Fudge 420 in the room said. It was fossilized Nephilim patty.
There you go.
Could
There
be.
you go.
Could be. We'll have Alberino taste it, see how
It's
it
like
goes.
Nibbler's shit from Futurama.
What else one we got here? This one they didn't. Oh yeah, is the stone in there? No, it's on.
That's
here.
what she said.
All right,
The big ball with the two nipples on it.
Yeah,
That's something of ours that fell out of the sky. I really couldn't get behind that.
Oh, yeah,
I had no.
I'm on a different one. I'm on the.
Yeah, I don't think that's ours though, because they couldn't identify it.
Well, no, they said it was terrestrial. They just don't know what it did, where it came from, and why.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean it's something ancient. It just means you can't figure the fucking shit out.
All right.
But you would think that if it was ours, we would know where Lego piece A came from because it's in the blueprints or in the schematic somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or only if somebody came up and said, "Oh yeah, hey, that's ours." If John Q, scientist nerd, is like, "Oh, we dropped it. Oh, they found it. Who cares?" And they just blow it off.
But you know what? It's not the first time that something that was circular like that was found. Wasn't there some kind of forest where they found like small black?
Oh, those. Oh yeah. South America.
Yeah. So
there's no way for them to create it unless they use. They said unless they use something extremely hot to carve the stone so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All different sizes.
To
that
carve
was
even,
awesome. Yeah.
To even carve out of those monolithic stones there with the crazy, laser precision. I'm on the Kupang Indonesian stone.
Yeah.
Where this is two stones, they say, now this is what's weird, fused together. Okay, we're fusing stone now. We're fusing stone on ancient things, and we don't fuse stone anymore. And then it has inscriptions in it that are very similar to the Pioneer spacecraft that we sent out with, our solar system, which you can see on this stone, on the smooth facing one. And then on the left side, it's not as easy to make out, but it's human figures, just like we sent out there with the record that could be played and the signal. It's eerily
the
similar.
bronze plates.
Yes, so I'm gonna just
brass plates.
Yeah, the brass plates that we had. Mysterious stone found in Kupang, Indonesia. In 1992, a strange artifact was discovered in a cave on the Devil Hills, or Mount of Satan, in Kupang. East Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. The artifact was a stone which possessed strange carvings on its surface. The mysterious stone photographs can be seen here. Belonged to a geologist who lived in Kupang and died of an illness in 1994. He'd been exploring a cave at the Devil Hills at night and came upon a strange pile of rocks where he found the stone. It appeared like two pieces of rocks bound together, but it most Curious characteristics were the drawings upon surface and stars, the sun, and an arrow pointing in every direction. You can also see humanoid figures and what looks like a diagram of the solar system. These carvings on the rock may be compared to the Pioneer plaques. These were the plaques that were sent into space aboard Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11 in 1972 and 73, respectively, meant to give an intelligent life on a universe information on the craft's origins. On the strange stone, the images, if they are similar, they appear very similar, but got reversed. It's eerily similar. I'm gonna bring up the Pioneer 10. Hold on, I got a close up on the.
You know, it's funny if some guy in NASA in '72, come on, let's send this plaque up into space so they can tell us so some information about us. We gotta do it quick because we gotta go watch Starsky and Hutch before we miss.
Man, I am gonna pull Wallowitz off of you at the next airport.
That's it,
and then it gets sent up in space, and the alien's like, "What the fuck?
We got this again."
Wow, man, no, you know, screw your rocket. Go back to your planet. You meaningless nothing. You know.
I don't know, like,
dude, this is crazy. Like, I just got it up here. Now
the picture.
So here on Twitch, yeah, like, you know that, and I'm gonna switch back to the rock.
You know what it kind of reminds me of too? It's not the first time we sent out a signal or something and it came back to us. Yeah. Now I'm not talking about that 16-day cycle signal, the radio waves. There was something like, I think it happened in Europe, maybe in the Scandinavian countries, where a crop circle was found. And it wasn't a circle, it was more of like a diagram. And the diagram was like an answer to the same exact diagram that we sent up into space. You know, have you guys know what I'm talking about?
The diagram I just showed with you know, all the angles pointing out of that.
No. It was just like, it was like a pictured diagram, almost like hieroglyphics. It's hieroglyphics.
One more, come on, one more. You're so close.
Hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
I love the hieroglyphics. They make me good eat the hieroglyphics.
So, all right, but anyway, some guys they found this in their yard, and what happened was when they saw the image from the sky, it was exactly what we sent out into space, except it was a little different. Like they were faces. Yeah, they were answering what we sent out. It was like their retort to our statement. I gotta find it. I'll send it.
Well, we've also got the 16-day repeating code coming from 500 million miles away too, right? That's another crazy thing, man. Just for that dude to find a rock in Indonesia. I mean, Indonesia, not really known for their space program, you know, but where it's fused together, not like concreted together, fused rock, two different ones, one a smooth side that has this carving in it that's almost identical to the message that goes out on the Pioneer shuttles, man. And this wasn't found until 1992. So did somebody do this in the 70s? No, they've had it all tested. This again is far ahead of its time of anything of this message that should be lined up or even referencing it, man.
It's the Chibolton code. The Chibolton code analysis. I'm gonna send this to you guys. Hold on a second. I don't know how to do this nonsense. There you go. Share.
Let's see where we're at now. Man, there's just so many things in this. I'm gonna do the last.
I just sent it to the chat.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do the last one here that really stuck out, and you had mentioned it earlier, GGP, the Emerald Tablet. Yeah, man, very interesting.
But however, in that video, that was the only one that they said maybe it was a hoax.
Maybe, but they said if it is an elaborate hoax, it's by a Muslim artist who thought it was hilarious to spend a shit ton of money on emerald and then carve something into it. Like that, that always seems to me like an easy get out of jail free card for them, you know?
Muslim prankster.
They're known for
their levity.
Yeah, those kidders, you know, let's see here. The Emerald Tablet. Oh, fuck that. The Emerald Tablet, in a previous article, according to Hermeticism, which we need to do a whole show on the Hermetic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right. On all of that type of stuff, because I remember Alberino said the Hermetic mysteries, and I want to look more into it. I briefly discussed Hermes Trismegistus, okay, the legendary figure who credited with a philosophical movement known as Hermeticism. Hermes Trismegistus. Try it again, is credited with the writing of Corpus Hermeticum, one of the foundation documents of Hermeticism, as well as the Emerald Tablets and many other sacred writings. The Emerald Tablets are considered a pillar of Western alchemy and esotericism. The Emerald Tablets are a series of stones supposedly inscribed with the secrets of the universe, particularly the secrets to alchemy. You should be able to turn anything into gold, is what the legend is. While there are a variety of legends that date the tablets to various times of antiquity, the oldest documentation source is the Kitab Balinus El Hakim, a composite of earlier works attributed to Balinus, possibly a pseudonym of Apollonius of Tyna. So, I mean, a lot of just old school names here, but dude, they've been Roger Bacon. That's another name. We heard about, Francis Bacon, but Roger Bacon did a lot of this crazy shit behind the scenes, man. They were involved in some serious stuff, but supposedly these are the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And Thoth ruled Egypt from 52,000 BC to 36,000 BC. And at the end of his reign, the legend states that it was him who built the Great Pyramid of Giza, not the Pharaoh Khufu, in order to safeguard the ancient wisdom of Atlantis. The pyramid was placed over the structure known as the Great Halls of Amenti. And as the time progressed in ancient Egypt, Thoth adopted into pantheon, being known as the god of wisdom and the scribe of the gods. Thoth is said to have 3 reincarnations, the last being Hermes, who authored the Emerald Tablets, and which left with a pyramid of priests who protected the great halls of Amenti. So, 20,000 year reign, we're talking about, again, Sal, Anunnaki, super space, master race, who are carving on emeralds. They're here to mine gold. They're here to build major structures that are on ley lines, that are energy conductors.
I'm just glad I got you on board, Ben, is all I'm saying.
You've done a wonderful job convincing me.
Listen, it isn't too late, boys, to look down the righteous path and give yourselves to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Thoth,
I got so much about Jesus Christ. We can talk about him for a while now.
Dude, Jesus only made it 33 years. Thoth had a 20,000 year reign, bro. He's over. He's Snook or Snoke or whatever the fuck, right? Like, he's over. Yeah, man. And this is a cool one because, once you light up the emerald, and all that kind of stuff, we've got Emerald City. We've got, this jade mysticism, Eastern philosophy, the Muslim connection to it all. It's and all the way to Egypt, of that this was a reincarnation of ancient wisdom. Pretty insane. What are you thinking, Sal?
Yeah, I'm just actually 37 custom toys, bro. Maybe they carved it on emerald because it won't ever wither away. And I was just trying to answer the fact that even back then, the worth of that tablet to carve shit on it, even if they were just like, oh, we're gonna carve, let's say we're gonna carve our lawns, they're not gonna do it on that emerald tablet because that'll be the first thing people steal. That'll be, if somebody sacks the city, that's the first thing they take. If somebody wants them, that's the first thing they're gonna grab. So, this all this the jargon that was written down on there. Why they picked that material, I don't know. It doesn't make any, as far as like occult reasons.
Yeah, and in Egypt, I don't really put emerald to Egypt either. You know what I mean?
But like that's what I'm just kind of, when I saw it earlier and I looked, there's really no a ritual. There's no like call for carve this on emerald. Like even just using crystal wise, there's nothing like carve this on an emerald stone, use an emerald stone. It's not really over for that reason. So why?
Yeah. GGP, bam. What's your favorite risotto that Emerald makes?
I don't need a risotto. Sorry, guys. I'm watching my carb intake.
The champ's got to look good in all these pictures he's taking, man, for his posters. But yeah, dude, I think this is a very cool one. GGP, what's your take on this?
You know what, dude? When I first heard it, I was, intrigued tremendously. Like, where do you find a big tab that size of emerald?
Right.
Made of, and then how do you etch something on there so precise? You have to do it with a laser. You can't do it with a freaking hammer and and a chisel. So I'm saying to myself, those are two factors.
Yep.
Then they're talking about how it pertains to alchemy, and to be honest, to me, the whole alchemy thing always sparks an interest to me, because if there is, when there's smoke, there's fire. So if someone one day said, "Hey, we can make gold out of any material, all we need is XYZ," then it's probably true. It probably got lost through the ages, or it was hidden. Maybe that's what's on Oak Island. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But in actuality, it always interests me because so many people that in our history, not only the pharaohs, not only the Roman leaders, the emperors, the Greeks, but people who are from the Masonic lore back in the day, from the 1700s, our founding fathers, a lot of them were alchemists. Ben Franklin, you know what I'm saying? So there has to be something there that so many different people over the ages believed in this theory or story or myth, because there has to be some merit for it to be, in order to be passed down by generation to generation.
I love that you picked that out because one of my mentors, Dave Pasquazi, even though the show just got canceled, Lodge 49, which is about a Lynx Lodge, a Freemason, but he plays the alchemist in there, and it's very much exactly what you're saying right now, that same feeling, you know what I mean, of but you don't know, and you're looking for an answer, and around the next bend, what are you going to learn as you try and unlock that key? And that's generational, as all of these stories through medieval times to modern discovery. It just shows no matter what year, man is like, fuck, I still can't figure this out. What is it? You know what I mean? Even with our technology.
No, absolutely. And the fact that it hasn't gone away, it has died down, obviously, but not because I think the lore or the mystique has disappeared. I think that there's more distractions in the world nowadays to keep our heads down and not ask any questions, whether it's, political distractions, entertainment, sports, racism, whatever the case may be. There's too many things out there, just the rat race itself that keeps us bound to where we need to be. A smart person once told someone else that I know, stay in your lane and know your role. So, that's that. But I just
want to say what's cool about this, if this is about alchemy, and, not that we say we don't have massive geodes in our world where they could get a big slab of emerald, but it's just something I'm not familiar with. It makes the whole story seem very kingly, and you know what I mean, just like the whole jewels and the treasure and all that type of shit. And then, like you said, the laser etching on here that just couldn't have been chipped and carved away and then needs to be lit in order to really see it. Maybe they could make emerald, at that point. Maybe they had the alchemy figure out to make, layers and layers of emerald if they were doing that. This is just another cool piece that's not necessarily technology, but definitely sticks out. When I saw the big piece of emerald, I thought, I was like, where the fuck you getting emeralds this big? But then I thought about, that cave that's underneath in southern Mexico with the fucking huge quartz crystals, like they're massive. Yeah. They're massive. They're like,
but now
12 feet in diameter.
Cut off
some
a
of them.
Slab and then carve that into a tablet.
What if there's underground caves in Egypt like there is in fucking Mexico, and they got quartz crystals and fucking emerald crystals underneath, and we still don't know about them yet, dude?
Well, I think we should go talk to the Villanos, because that's where they learned how to fucking bump, in that cave in Mexico.
The cave of emeralds.
But one thing that I want to say is that I started to fall down that rabbit hole, and I went into a couple of videos about the Emerald Tablet, and they were just very boring. So after like 5 minutes, I had to turn them off. I couldn't listen to it. So if you guys have any links to anything, just send it to our way to conspiracyhorsemen@gmail.com. and maybe we'll get intrigued or go down that rabbit hole again. There's this one tattoo chick. She started talking. She was interesting. She was, not bad in the eyes. She was like a professor in some college somewhere. She was also a witch. And then she started getting into that whole witch nonsense. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pick and choose where you can get a little bit of, where you're going to say, yeah, that resonates with me, and then, okay, you're pushing.
I think her name was Naha, Naha. So if you guys want to look her up, go look her up.
Nice.
Give me the Cliff Notes.
I just wanted to say, we'll do 5-minute preview because we want to do a whole show on the Voynich Manuscript. Pretty interesting, named after the family that most recently had it, the Voyniches, so it's not like an old name. This manuscript's been around and dated back to right around 1400, and it was coded in a language that is undecipherable, and it's been driving scholars and royals and clergy and OCD mathematicians nuts since they
15th century.
15th century, really, since it's been passed for many reasons, from doctors to scholars, and now I believe is it in Oxford? Where did
No, it's in Yale.
Yale, sorry. And you can go online and see a completely digital version of this if you want to flip through it in Yale and look up the Voynich Manuscript, Voynich. But very interesting. Lots and lots and lots of drawings in this that are plant related, and a lot of scholars think that it's a medical book. But then there's some sexy pictures at the end and things like that. Go ahead, Sal, you're itching. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, well, no, again, this is something that it makes into some minor pop culture stuff. A lot of Call of Cthulhu shit. They talk about the Voynich Manuscript because it could be anything.
Right.
They think that, and this falls into my earlier category of it could be made up. They think it could be a made-up script where maybe some fucking wackadoo is like, I'm going to do this, and he's going to do this, and they find it, and they're like, this is something. Meanwhile, if you go back to the 15th century in Italy, some fucking smooth-brained shit farmer was like, I'm going to do this thing, and he does it. Now people think it's a holy relic.
Well, what does it look like to you for the first half with all the plants? To me, it looks like...
It does look like a botany book.
An edible plants guide. It's nothing like that's going to be groundbreaking of like whatever,
right.
But
the fact that you don't know what it says.
Yeah, it could heal a lot for us. But I mean, obviously health is groundbreaking and whatnot, but it's not like... the sexy conspiracy of doomsday or something along those lines.
Right. Or there, maybe this is the original script for The Happening. Where they're like, this plant's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say many believe that has the secrets to eternal life.
Like the Medicine Man.
Yeah.
Sean Connery movie. Yeah.
And then and some other people think it's an alchemy handbook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some things in there where I was flipping through and like they just look like simple. Could you eat this in nature? And I could see a fennel head fern where you can like people go out and pick them and they taste
fiddleheads.
And there's a couple things there. I was like, all right, as a nature guy, I understand, I get what this is. And they were even showing like they look like columns, but those were medieval. Like vases, it looks like something Michael Jackson would buy and put in his fucking house, but but it was to store like big amounts or maybe let things ferment to, you know what I mean? Like those were on the pictures too. Go ahead.
My other side of this is maybe it was even a cookbook. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things it could be. Like,
well, listen. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I'm just.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. No. Go ahead.
No, the thought of it being is. They found some traces of Latin in it, so they're like they kind of got an idea.
Right, and the very last thing, it was on the very last page. There was 2 lines in like an old Latin and German, and a couple characters of the cipher, but they still couldn't make out fully off of that to decipher the rest of the book. Just what those 2 lines were, right?
So some boopity boppity Italian was like, "Oh, I wrote this up," and now, again. They still don't know what the hell it is. But, like, again, looking through it looks like a Boy Scout manual.
Until you get to the back and there's a pool with green sludge and then 9 rats are in there taking a bath. So it's like Is it some manual for when your wives are on their gimmick and you're trying to calm them down, get them some green Gatorade? What is it? I don't understand.
It could have been, a thing of the solstice, hey, do this and get them all together. Do this, this is a big celebration. We're going to do this. Get all these herbs in a water and these chicks that get all horned up for you. It could be anything.
It did seem like that. Like if you mix this, you can get 9 bitches naked in the pool. My cousin Larry did this shit, bro. If you get him to sniff this, get this space dust down here, and these bitches will be in the pool with their titties out.
I bet you after a few cases, some Budweiser Gwiz can decipher this book.
Figure it out.
I got it.
But look,
I got it. I wrote it. 15 minutes ago.
Well, listen, a couple things, man, about this manuscript. Number one, they were able to trace it back from Rome to Prague, all the way back to the 1600s, to the second Royal Emperor Rudolph II. That was his name, and he gave it to his He gave it to his physician, Jacobus Sinapius. But my question is this: why would an emperor give a physician a book? What did the emperor know about the book?
No,
what didn't he know?
Yeah, or what did he know? But this was, I couldn't do shit. I'll hand it to this guy. It's because he gave he healed his kidney stones or whatever, his urinary tract infection that he'd been suffering from. So he was a good pharmacist. He upped him to be like, you're the fucking man. And now here's an old text that fuck it. Here's a cookie for you.
So, okay. So just like I'm saying, baseball cards are only important and worth something to somebody who collects baseball cards. So this physician, he took care of this dude, took care of his urinary tract infection. He pulled a splinter out of the fucking lion's paw. It doesn't matter. The emperor turned around and said, all right, check it out. This important book, who it could have been important to no one else, was given to this guy by this guy. Mm-hmm. So now it's important. Now somebody wants this. Now this is worth something, and that's all it takes for lore to be passed on.
And maybe he will be able to unlock it, and he'll be the fucking dude who put him onto it and give him the shine.
And
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. To the king, to the emperor, it's worthless.
Right.
It's worthless shit because he can't read it, he can't translate it. So you know what? I'm gonna give it to the guy who helped me out because he's super smart. Figure this out, bro. And now, right? So now it was given. It's been given to the guy, and now it's over. Everybody says, "Oh, that book! Oh, it's an important book. He got it from the emperor. Rudy gave it to him. Fuck! Oh, Rudy gave him the book."
And that's 1580, right? In there, it goes through 3 popes' hands, back to back to back, who are trying to decipher it. And fast forward all the way, and that's in 1600s. And I pop for the popes' names too. It was like Pope something X, like Burden X is like a real rapper name or something like that. And
Malcolm X.
And they were good. They're funny fucking names.
Pope Francisco the White.
Yeah, and then on once we fast forward to the 1900s, this still hasn't been broken. They give it to a dude who broke all the code from Germany, World War I, and he thought he had it. And then even his shit gets dispelled. And one thing that popped me is, we can go back and say this, there's one guy who was like the man at that time, and they actually had a correspondence going back and forth. And the guy was like, could you help me with this? And he's like, yeah, I could, but I've got way too much on my plate, and this is bullshit for me to waste my fucking time on. Which the guy was like, doing some Copernicus level shit, but like, it was just funny the blow off of like, you're not fucking over in the real smart guys and shit, bro.
Listen,
I don't want to read your little comic book, sir.
Nice.
And meanwhile, it's still undeciphered. Like all the decipher of it has been dispelled. Go ahead, man.
I saw a video where some guy tries to decipher it and says he has deciphered the majority of the book, at least 33% of it, because he said it was supposedly relatable, some old Turkish language. They were able to make some words out.
Okay.
We don't know if it's true. We don't know if that's what he thinks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's just a regular Turkish guy from Turkey, nothing against the Turks, but all these wordsmiths and scholars over 100 years, centuries couldn't figure out what this thing means. I mean,
who the hell speaks Turkey?
But this is the one thing that got me, dude. All right, when I was watching, doing some of the research and watching videos, there's pictures in there that looks like plant cells. right? And there's other pictures that looks like our solar system, right? This book was allegedly carbon dated to the 1400s, I think 1420 or
15th century.
Because it was in a specific type of DNA. They were hoping they would have found the parchment was made out of goat skin. It would have been from like northern Italy, so they could have, because on this parchment it shows a castle which was very similar to the ones that were in northern Italy. They tested it and it was calf skin from a cow, so it could be anywhere in Europe. It was like the most common one, you know. So go ahead.
So the thing is this: the telescope and the microscope wasn't invented till the 1600s. So that's 200 years after the fact that this person who had the book was able to draw plant cells and able to draw pictures of the solar system without having tools in order to see the solar system or map the solar system or look into a microscope and see a plant cell.
Yeah, some of those geometric things in there are way intricate, man. Some of the drawings in there are crazy.
And I agree with Sal. This book could be anything because there's 6 sections. There's an herbal section. There's an astronomical section, cosmological section. There's recipes in this thing. It's a cookbook by Rachel Ray.
Yeah.
A pharmaceutical. There's
There's some porn in there. They got porn in there.
Dude.
You guys spank whatever you want, bro.
What do you think it is, Ben? You have to take a guess.
I gotta agree, man, that it's some type of medical botany book, and combined with a mind that is looking for patterns in things, whether it's in nature or it's in the sky or it's in cellular structure. I think it's some type of scholar. The notes that they were taking is their life's work all combined into one thing. And then obviously a great mathematical and I don't want to say English, but language arts mind to come up with a cipher and codec to protect their own information, however, it never to be passed on, must be so good that the world's greatest minds for 700 years have not been able to figure it out fully. And the ones that do can be dismissed. Now, does that mean that they didn't figure it out already? No, but sometimes we can dismiss things by poking holes in it and still might be right. Either way, the Voynich Manuscript, very cool. Guys, go to the Yale site. Just look up on Google Voynich Manuscript.
You can read the PDF.
Yeah.
What if the
Great
language is
videos.
elf language?
It looks like something that is elven, doesn't it? It's very.
I think I just gave Sal a chubby.
It's very scripty. It's very pretty to look at and very calligraphy like. It's very cool, man. And
they actually put the language. They put it in a decoder, like one of those computer generated things.
Yeah.
To see, and they couldn't figure it
couldn't
out.
fuck
An
with
actual-
it.
Nothing.
Couldn't
a
fuck
computer.
with it.
So one that's searching millions of freaking records couldn't decipher this thing. One person said that this was almost similar to the Rongo scripts from Easter Island, which were scripts that were made up by a civilization, but then the civilization passed away, and no one was able to know what it says or interpret what it has today because they're not around.
Right.
But it could also be a hoax.
Could be, man, but just the way that these great minds.
I don't think it's a hoax either. But
me neither, dude. I think this is a great mind just lost to history. And
I agree with you. I think it's a code. Not to cut you off, Ben. I'm sorry. I think it's a code, but I think it's meaningless without the key. And the fact is, we need to find the key in order to decipher.
I don't even think it's gonna unlock anything. You know what I mean? Like, like to do that, but like to like give us some great answer. But once it's deciphered, you'll be able to get into the mind of at that time someone trying to unlock the mysteries of science and nature. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem very religious to me.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna find it after the fact. They're gonna find something in the next 5 years, and they're gonna decipher the code, and it's gonna say, "Continue to drink your Ovaltine."
Son of a bitch! A cruddy commercial. As we go to 2 quick messages from the General Neutral messaging system before we sign off here. Twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen, hackerhamin.podbean.com from conspiracyhorsemen@gmail.com. Hi lads, after the discussion about uploading yourself into a robot, an episode on a few weeks back, and actually want to say shout out to El Plaja, our video editor, cut together a great clip of us all talking, you know, as we do, sharing our thoughts on it. That was a
Is that how you say it, Plaja?
Plaja, I guess.
I've been calling him Plaga.
El Plaga.
Plaga?
Yeah.
Darth Plaga.
So I
I say Plaja, but it's Plaja Plaga. Thank you either way. After the discussion about uploading yourself into a robot on an episode a few weeks back, I think you'll enjoy this short film I stumbled upon. It's called I, Philip. It can be found on the VR app on Windows Store called RD360 VR. It's nothing heavy, but an interesting take on what it looks like to be the first attempt at uploading human consciousness to a machine from the viewpoint of the subject. Keep up the great show. Looking forward to the next episode. Regards from the UK, Grant Bezier. I'm not sure, brother.
Darth Bezier.
Yeah, thanks, Grant. Appreciate that, man. That was a good talk and something that, as we look to the past for these artifacts, the future with contact lenses and all that stuff that is going to replace our cell phones is scary, fast technology and a great, interesting, imaginative talk that it has a lot of religious, esoteric, moral ramifications that are the human beings of this planet ready for? Absolutely not.
All right, so let me ask you guys a quick question.
Yeah,
because this just jumped into my mind. We always say we might be in a simulated program, a matrix. We're just
Who said that?
People.
All right.
I'm not saying you guys are.
Don't get hot.
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
He's hot.
I don't want to associate you with something that you don't agree with. All I'm saying is people say that we might be living in a matrix. This is a giant simulation. None of this is real. We're all plugged into some kind of giant computer somewhere, like the Matrix. Other people, like yourselves, both of you are atheists. You guys say that we die, we don't do anything. There's no such thing as a soul, whatever the case may be. So, how do we detract consciousness? How do we take a consciousness?
Extract it, you mean?
Yeah. How do we extract it and put into something that's a computer or some sort of technology?
Okay.
How do we? Because if consciousness is not physical, it's not a liquid. It's not.
But it is.
How is it liquid?
It's not. It's electricity.
It's electricity.
What is?
Right now,
what does electricity do? Sorry. When you flip the light switch, it goes on or it goes off. So now we're talking about 1 and 0 binary code. So every choice you make that can be mapped, because we're creatures of habit, can then be okay, when I get the impulse that I need to eat X, that's what the impulse looks like. Now I can map that impulse to a binary code and then put all this out there. And if every impulse has some code, which is just, it takes the time to do that, now I've recreated your consciousness, your id. Is it the same thing as what's being generated organically through your brain waves and system, because you have an organic pumping battery? That's all your heart really is, to keep the rest of this shit going and keep the electric signals going. That's how you would extract it by copying.
You're not exactly extracting your actual consciousness. You're just duplicating and cloning.
Right. So that's the argument. Is it really you? Or can you create a whole AI for this post-afterlife that your kids could go visit you and your body and the GGP that you are right now wouldn't know it, but this afterlife version that is a complete clone of your consciousness could be going on until the end of time?
Sal, what are you going to say?
Well, simplify it. Okay, so a battery. Take a Duracell battery. You look at the battery. All the energy is in that battery. Okay, once you extract all of that energy from that battery, it is dead. But while it's contained in that Duracell, in that battery, you can then send it somewhere else. You can use it to power something else. And the same goes for our bodies. We can power it. We can extract it, the electricity, the impulses, the energy from our body into something else that can accept that energy. After we're dead, it's done. You can't pull any more energy out of a dead battery.
So you're telling me if we're able to extract electrical signals fired from our, I don't know, was it neurons or whatever the case may be?
Right.
In our
Synapse, whatever you want to call it.
Right, from our brain, and download it into a computer today, that program that's accepting the electrical charges, whatever, impulses into the computer, if I'm still alive for another 50 years, that I can live in this.
Fucking incoming.
Y'all hear that, right?
Incoming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's a fucking plane going
They usually come that low.
over.
Oh.
Shit was low as shit.
Wow.
Well, I got the airport right over here, but it's private planes, and at this time of night, it's fucking weird.
That was weird.
That was.
So what I'm saying is, let's say tomorrow we all transfer for a project. We transfer our consciousness in some kind of computer. We live for another 50 years. Our consciousness is going in that direction physically. Does our consciousness grow in the computer separately? And now there's two versions of us?
No, you have to update it.
You would have to upload new memories, but let me do this to you then. You're going to live another 50 years. In that 50 years, we can either talk cryogenics or we can talk about 3D printing new organs, which they're doing all the time. They grow you a new, just like Luke Skywalker in the in the tank, a new GGP body that has not had the Frankenstein nodes hooked up to its neck to jumpstart it, and then they can inject that into that, and you will wake up like you haven't missed a beat, but your old body's dead and gone because your consciousness was stored. Now, is that the same you? Possibly not. Or is it just like clone troopers? Because we're not talking about extracting consciousness, like saying, I'm dying now, let me get this out and whatnot. We're taking all of the brain patterns and everything that goes on and recreating that. And then you could put it into a non-failable system. Why put it back into an organic system that pumps blood and needs to eat shit, piss, and can get the flu when you could be in a iRobot or even in nanobots that can take any form. You could be GGP 1 minute, you could be fucking Brother Love the next if you wanted to, in the way they would reform themselves.
I love you.
Yeah, that sounds like a great trade-off.
If you got to get backstage, it might help you. That's the whole fucking thing. So that's really the argument of like, is life eternal? What version of ourselves, and do we get to keep going? Because now we're just going to get life chapter 2 possibly, instead of some dream that no one knows if it's ever going to happen.
So let's say, like a butterfly, caterpillar to a butterfly, we're in our caterpillar stage right now, known as being human. We pass away, we end up transcending to another plane, whether it's becoming an angel, becoming something metaphysical, whatever the case may be, right? And we prolong that by this transfer of consciousness into electrical AI, into computers or whatever technology, and we're living there as opposed to going to the next level where we're supposed to go. Do you believe that the universe will try to correct that, like the horror movie where you try to escape death, but it eventually...
No, I just don't believe there's some transcending thing. That's the construct that man either uses for discipline on their kids. Behavior, you're going to burn and it's hot. You've been burned before. You touch the stove. You don't want that. It's eternal on your balls like that. Or you're going you're going to the nice place.
No, Sal, what are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
We ain't got time. We don't have the time.
So
just say
do not have the time.
There's a snippet. Say it.
We were trained to do this. We were taught this by the wrathful gods.
Yes.
And everybody in your Bible, GGP, they were taught that because they needed. If you look, all Bible stories are about punishment and suffering if you don't follow the rules.
And fear, because you need fear of what's not coming. You don't know what's coming at the end. Once you die, you's fucking dead. There is no like, I get to go to the fun place, because if you were to get there and you believe that all the bullshit or anything, like not you, I'm saying the greater you of anybody who believes afterlife stuff, is the fucking deer up there. Is my grandma playing checkers with velociraptors who died fucking 20 million years ago because they had a soul?
What about
like
the
bullshit?
Jellyfish who do not die?
Yeah.
There's the jellyfish who just regenerates into its earlier polyp stage. What happens to that? It doesn't ever fucking die.
Every squirrel I ever shot, are they fucking there? Do they burn in hell? Like, it just turns into a ridiculous argument of like, where's the fucking line of who gets in because they're a creature that has a developed language. But then we clickbait on dogs and deer being best friends and shit like that, so where is what you can see of, this is what I believe in the religion of who gets to go on, like that line's not real. The reality of like, you your battery dying and that's no more for your soul, the soul doesn't lift out of your body and go toward the light. Going toward the light is your brain shutting down. Going toward the light is your organs shutting down, and you get to fucking experience that. And some people come back from that and then they have this story where they saw everybody, and maybe you do get to see all these great images from your life before you go, but you're not going anywhere else. You're not going to some higher plane.
But that's just me.
That's fine. That's why the atheists are pushing
We
technology.
need to have this discussion.
Yeah.
April 18th, when you show up at Immortal,
Yeah,
we'll have a
man.
nice little powwow.
This will settle all of it, because your Bible is telling truths. It's just there's a lot you need to be explained.
Good.
And
I look forward to sitting under the learning tree.
we'll do one more and pitch it out here, you guys. Quick message, because we're already 10 minutes over, and I know you guys want to see AEW. Stay true. Yeah, stay true, Adam DeJanes. Hey, I just wanted to let you all know I'm a Hamin Media Group, how much all of your podcasts have meant to me. Saved my long nights at work, and I'm always happy for a new episode. Going away for a year due to another DUI, as I'm an idiot, but Big Ray still sucks, and not seeing Rogue One. NFO and Conspiracy Horsemen for life. P.S. Stevie Richards is my hero, man. And we're very sorry that you got to go away to college for a while. We thank you for being a part of Hamin Media Group, and hopefully, good behavior and nothing bullshit happens and you're back out again. For those who don't want to learn that lesson, Uber, and I suggest that to anybody who might be making a bad choice on weekends who could take somebody else's life, or put yourself in a situation where you can pay thousands of dollars and lose some of your freedom. We never want to hear about that, but we do appreciate the fact that we can be there for you with high level talk and bro talk, and know that.
But if you could play us in the joint, dude, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can fucking get us over with the good brothers there too, then maybe
And
that'll
don't
save
drop
you.
the soap.
What are you gonna do, man? Sometimes you gotta drop it. It's long, lonely nights in the desert. It's lonely
Listen,
in the desert.
what you did at OVW,
Yeah.
your business.
Dude, I fucking ended up directing the show. I directed the show, and we were
Fucking
tag
neat.
champs. But y'all directing the show out here, you guys. Big Sally, what's going on with you? Horror Junkyard. People were loving you and Chuck kind of going off the rails. Had a good time.
We had to blow some steam, and I did get a lot of feedback so
Who's
far
Steam?
for this. This is
Kevin Steam.
the little Asian kid.
Yeah, you got the corona. Huh?
Yeah.
So I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. It was, again, this was a movie that I liked when I was a kid. Well, younger, not a kid. When I was younger, I thought this movie was the fucking shit, and then I realized I had awful taste. But yeah, so thank everybody who dug it. Thank you. Thanks for putting up with us. I liked it. We all listen to Hamin Media and all the professional shows they have on, and then we have the Horror Junkyard, who's like the ghetto stepchildren of Hamin Media.
No.
No, trust me. Yes, come on.
No. We love our ghetto stepchildren.
You guys, yeah, well, you do.
Just because we get to see you on the weekends doesn't mean we love you any less.
Every other weekend.
Yeah. That don't mean Daddy don't love you.
So we had some fun. Now, unfortunately, Kat got hit with a bunch of tornadoes in Tennessee.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So she's out of power. She's safe. They found a skeleton in the fucking woods, but that's pretty good. They were looking for bodies that got thrown up, and they found some old body that was buried by the good old boys, apparently. So, we're hopefully gonna get up and running for next Tuesday. Do another recording. We're gonna keep coming. So we're looking forward to putting out some more. And then again, we're still working on the gaming podcast, because every time I get somebody that I want to talk to, we get schedule fuck up. And now, especially with me starting a new job, blah, 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 blah. So thank you guys for listening. If you guys want to get in touch with us, get in touch with us at thehorrorjunkyard.com. We had a couple sales for the new Horror Junkyard shirt, which was from Eric, which Eric Kent did an amazing job. So thanks for that. And despite it was Chuck's mom, but whatever. So if you guys want to check it out, it's prowrestlingtees.com SEG shirts.
Yeah,
something, right?
Sally Graziano shirts /SEG shirts, man.
There we go.
Very, very cool shirt. I think I'm going to get it at the end of the summer on a hoodie. I want it for fall on a hoodie, man, for sure. Definitely. GGP, man, I know you're defending something this weekend. Your ass has got too many bookings.
Let's see. Tomorrow, 52nd episode 52 of the New Force Order, our 1 year anniversary episode. We've recorded it last night, had a lot of fun, healed up the fans as I did because I got a little pissed off at them, but whatever, nothing new. This Saturday I will be at New Evolution Wrestling in Queens, New York, at the Elks Lodge in Queens. I'll be wrestling one of Sal's favorite wrestlers, Andrew Anderson. Now he's bringing Kevin Sullivan into the mix corner. So I'm looking forward to having Kevin Sullivan at ringside. But card subject to change, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe the bookie monster has to play politics once again. Who knows? We'll see.
He does it well.
I've learned from you, Master Yoda. So, other than that, you can find me, Greek God Papadon, on Twitter and Instagram. Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greek God Papadon is a YouTube channel. And Pro Wrestling Tees / Greek God Papadon for your t-shirt needs.
Yeah, man. Oh,
Not
great
a
one.
hair on your ass if you don't give that hump a potato right in the fucking chop.
Who, Kevin? or
Kevin.
Oh,
How dare you?
So
That's what I'm
just watch
saying.
over and fucking
Talk about
blast
the
him.
taskmaster like that. How dare you?
Oh, man. This weekend I'm going to chill because it's about to get crazy. Hacker Hamin returns. Sea Murder.
I got him.
I knew. Hacker Hamin returns March 14th. Sea Murder 245 local show. It should be a good time, man. Always pack it out there in Camden. I'm going to do half Hamin, half this Mark. So it should be a good time. The 21st, I will be at the Awakening out by Albany and with the let's see who's on there. The Ascension should be a good time getting back with Rick Victor.
Oh yeah, I met up with these guys. Good guys.
No, dude, Ascension's the best, man. And we'll try and get more Freemason stooge from them, see if we can get anything out of them backstage, face to face. Well, their whole gimmick was
Well, the gimmick was, I'm just saying, are they really Masons?
He said no because he goes, fuck, Pop, so we should have been. He goes, maybe we would have got over and not got fired if we actually did all the shit. I go, it didn't work for Idol, so fuck it, dude.
if you see Connor,
yeah,
can you do me a favor? You got to ask him, Connor, what are your thoughts on the clam chowder from BK Grasso's?
Okay, remind me next week. I'll say there's something you want me to tell Connor.
Just a little note. Maybe you want to write this down, Ben.
Yeah.
Maybe next show we could talk about that memory erasing thing. Remember they talk about seeing the movie all over again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That definitely. I got that down in there.
Also, Ben, I'm sorry to cut off on your promos.
Go ahead,
real
man.
Quick. I wanted to mention this earlier. This was tremendous. So again, we start talking about things and then things get stuck in my head and then things pop up that I see. So this is a legit movie called Sky Sharks. Okay. Wait for this. Deep in the ice of Antarctica, a team of geologists uncover an old Nazi laboratory still intact with dark experiments having occurred. In order to conquer the world, the Nazis created modified sharks who were able to fly and whose riders are genetically mutated undead superhumans. A military task force called the Dead Flesh 4 reanimated U.S. soldiers who fell in Vietnam are put together to prevent the world's downfall.
Is this the new horror junkyard? You got to do this, bro.
Dude,
the movie's not out
tremendous.
yet.
What the fuck?
Right? Am I like seriously?
I'm coming back on the horror junkyard. We're doing a bootleg of this.
All right.
And
all right,
I got to
all the
see
boys
this
on.
one with
Okay,
you. We got to do this one.
Seriously. We start talking about, this is what I say. Like, we start talking about things, and then I hear about stuff independently that's like, we were just fucking talking about.
Do you think there's algorithms now or soon that will just make movies based on what we have where they piecemeal them together like a choose your own adventure type fucking thing?
Yeah, man.
I'll choose my adventure as I face off against the Patriot and Tony Atlas on the 21st, Blaze Haram and the Russian Bear at my side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. And then the 28th, I'm back at Bordertown Pro Wrestling.
Very nice.
Mania week, I'm not sure what's going down. The 18th of April, GGP
But we're
and
not going down.
Yeah.
We're gonna be
You
in
might
Florida, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
right.
see. The 18th,
Drop
I
the
know, will
ball
be
on
in Utica, in New York, SUNY IT. And then the 25th is Rome, New York. And I just got booked on the new ECW Legends Storytelling Tour, June
I cannot
13th and
wait for that.
14th. So,
we're gonna get a call at 3 a.m. in the morning.
yeah, oh yeah.
Hack is heavy. I can't carry this
I
guy any
cannot
longer.
wait.
Coming to a police lineup near you, infidels. It's the Conspiracy Horsemen, twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen, hackerhamin.podbean.com. And you know it, infidels. There's only one place where you can take the memories.
We miss you, Stevie.
To be my sunshine, Stevie. It's so hard to say goodbye to a payday. Y'all, Conspiracy Horsemen, we're out of here. Miss you, Stevie.
Tremendous.
Oh, that was awesome.